To welcome all of you on this session of May 2020. As you know that roughly we have 60 days in our hand for the May. Okay, so I wanted to talk to the students so that they can get some idea that how to move further for the main preparation. Because I know some of you are struggling with the main, some of you are struggling with the things which can be handled, but unless you know how to handle those things, so it might become very difficult to handle those things. Okay, so there are some challenges when I was talking to the student which they were facing. So these are some of the challenges. Number one is the planning and scheduling. Second is productivity issue. Third is they are thinking that uh, time is very less. Okay, and fourth is do we have the time? Some are thinking about next attempt. Some are in their last attempt, so they have different kind of fear. So I thought that let's talk about all these issues so that you guys can get some rough idea that how to move forward. Okay, so let me take this number one issue, planning and scheduling. So I have seen students who are planning, and there is a phrase na, that uh, guys, please don't draw anything. Let me do this job for you. Okay, so there is a process. Uh, there is a phrase which calls that you are the best planner, but you are the worst executor. Okay, so in the planning, what I have seen, suppose someone is having any issue with the planning. So what I have seen that in the planning, you are making Superman plans. So Superman plans does not include human limitation. There are certain human issues, human limitations which we have. But when you are planning, suppose someone is planning that every day I'm going to study for 14 hours. So in an ideal world, you can plan that. But when it comes to execution, so there is some issue. So there is an issue of planning. Okay. Then another issue is productivity. So during the main, suppose someone is preparing for 20. Uh, Guys, please don't draw this. Please don't. Okay. So someone is preparing for 2021, and suppose someone is right now making a plan for the main, and someone, for example, in the whole day, someone has spent like 8 hours for uh, agriculture topic. He or she might be happy that yes, I have studied agriculture for 8 hours. But as you are entering into the mains world, that you are going to appear in the mains, and you know that even after spending 8 hours, if your productivity is low, productivity simply means what you intended to finish is not being done. Second thing, you are not able to write the answer. Okay, so so things these things become a major issue when we see our productivity. Someone is preparing for like ethics, and it's been like 10 or 12 days, but despite of that they are not able to write a single answer in ethics. So productivity is another challenge, and mind it that you are going to appear in the main, so your productivity has to be very good. If your productivity is low, then certainly you are going to suffer. So second issue is of the productivity. Third issue is of that time is very less. Yes, of course, time is very less now. You don't have the time because it's roughly 60 days we have in our hand. So another question comes: do you have the time? Okay, so I would say yes, you have the time, and you don't have the time. There are two things. Okay, so from here there are two things: yes and no. So you have the time to study, you have the time to write the answer, but you do not have the time to waste. You do not have the time to waste in the things which are not linked for the main preparation. And if you are doing it, you know it that you are not doing the right thing. So you have the time. Yes, you have the time to prepare. I have seen students who have cleared the exam. I'm not saying cleared the means. I'm saying cleared the exam in 60, 65 days. But if you keep on thinking on other things apart from exam, if you keep on looking only on the problem, not on the solution, then you are in this category. And in this category, you don't have the time. Then while preparing for the main or even for the prelims, but generally for the main, because we have very less time. So at times we think that, okay, let it be. In this year, I will give the exam. I will try to finish. These are the topics. But in the next year, just after the mains, I will start focusing more on the mains. I will make my notes. I will start writing the answer. Even this is not the right thing to think at this point of time. You are not going to appear in 2021. You are going to appear in 2020. Whatever time you have, whatever time limit we have, you have to work within that time frame. So this is not a good thing. This is not a good idea, or it's not. It is not. It is not going to help you. So stop dreaming about the next attempt. This attempt, only this attempt you have. And there are students who are in their very last attempt. So there is a fear of last attempt that what if I'll fail in me? What if I'll not get the rank? It is a genuine fear. But what is the outcome of that fear? That if you are keep on thinking about this, then ultimately your productivity will be very much less. So I would advise you that yes, these are the common challenges faced by the student, but make sure one thing that you are going to appear in the main from January 8th, and whatever it takes, you are going to work on that, and definitely we will help on that particular part. So second part is what is the way out? So I found this quote very genuine, and please read this quote, Albert Einstein quote. Kindly read it. And even scientific studies say that if you can make a good plan, if you can make a good plan, it saves roughly around 4 to 5 hours of your everyday. So this planning is very important. So how to plan? Okay, so okay, I have told you that planning is very important. Then how to plan? Am I audible to all of you? Am I audible? Okay. So how to plan? So what is the plan? So there are 2 to 3 models. There are 2 to 3 models. It depends on your condition. Okay, let me change my earphone. Wait. Am I audible now?
Am I audible now? Okay. So there are roughly 2 to 3 models of the plan. Okay. So number one model is it is like 5+2 model. Okay. This is 5+2 model. Number 2 model. It is like number 2 is 3+3+1 model. Okay. So model number 1 is 5+2. Model number 2 is 3+3+1 model. Then comes another model that we will take after these 2 models. So what is this 5+2 model? 5+2 model is you plan for 5 days. Okay, so let us say that your optional is philosophy, and you are preparing your philosophy as well as some part of GS. So how to move towards that? So in 5 days, what you are going to do, you are going to divide your days. Okay, so you are going to divide your days, that half of the day for your philosophy, half of the day for the GS. So you are going to prepare your optional in half of the day, then half of the day for the GS. These 2 days, in these 2 days, one day is for essay. One day is fixed for the essay, that you are going to write essay on this particular day. And one day, whenever we plan, so one day we keep it as a vacant day, because as I have told you earlier in the planning, when we plan in a Superman way, generally we do not count the human limitations. So there is a possibility that you started your preparation, let us say on Monday. Okay, so from Monday you started, but on Tuesday there was some urgent work in your life. So you have one vacant day where you can finish those targets. So I call it, give your plan some breathing space. Breathing space has to be there. So this 2 day, one for the essay and one for the breathing space, whatever we have left. Second model is second model is 3 plus 3 plus 1. So suppose my optional is philosophy. So 3 days for philosophy and 3 days for GS and 1 day for essay. Okay. So 3 days for philosophy, 3 days for GS, and 1 day for essay. It is a tight schedule, of course, because now you do not have the breathing space. So you can convert it 3 plus 3 plus 2 as per your convenience. Then comes the third model. In that third model, so third model is 6 plus 1. So you are giving 6 days for your optional and 1 day for essay. Then next 6 days for GS, then 1 day for essay. Okay, so these are the three models. What I have found personally, that 5 plus 2 model, it is the best model, because here you are having breathing space. Every day you are studying two subjects. Okay, every day you are going to study two subjects, which will help you. Suppose by the weekend you can see your progress, that yes, in my optional I have done something, even in my GS part I have done something, even I have attempted essay, and I have one breathing day, one day for as a breathing space. So I can use that day for doing some value addition, or if I have left some of the portion of my optional or GS, I can do that during that day. So you can choose according to your condition. I'm not imposing any plan, but I found this plan as a very good. So this was about planning your week. Planning your week is very important, but the most important part of our planning is everyday plan. This is the thing, everyday thing. This one particular thing which makes us more productive. By making an efficient everyday plan, we can check our progress every day. Because exam is 60 days away. Right now, you Don't think about 60 days. Roughly, you have 2 months. Do not think about 2 months. You can break it into weekly basis. But even you do not have the week. When you wake up in the morning, you know that, yes, I have this day in my hand. Tomorrow, you don't know whether you have that day in your hand or not. So this is the most crucial part of mains preparation. And this thing, the one who can make a single day productive, can feel the difference in their preparation. So how do we make single day plan? There are three things in the single day plan. Some students start their day with the newspaper. So I would say you are not starting your day, you are wasting your day. Again, I'm saying you are not starting your day, you are wasting your day. So there are three slots in a day. Slot number 1, slot number 2, slot number 3. First slot, this this is very important. So the only criteria for slot 1, suppose someone wakes up at 7. So this slot has to be there by 8 to 11 or 12. So what is the criteria for slot 1? Slot 1 is, number 1, it has to be the difficult task. Number 1 criteria is of difficulty. It has to be a challenging task for you. It could be your optional, it could be your GS, it could be answer writing, anything which challenges you. At the same time, second criteria is, it has to be most important task in your exam. It has to be have some importance. Otherwise, someone might say that, sir, world history challenges me every day. And thank you, sir. And I have started my preparation from world history. But it is not important because hardly one question you will find. But there is a possibility that you might be having some leg in your optional. You might have not prepared some of the toughest topics of your optional. Challenge yourself every day. And in the morning, if you have challenged yourself, trust me, by the evening or night, you will be having immense confidence. So slot 1. Then comes the slot 2. Slot 2 means, it is not that it is less important. The only thing is, it is not challenging you. Suppose I'm if there are two topics, one is suppose there are two tasks. One is writing essay. Till now, if I have not written any essay, and another task is reading some stuff from my optional. So I would give preference in my schedule that tomorrow morning I will wake up and I will write essay. Because this postponing of the things, it is killing us. You have not attempted any essay, write it. There is 99% possibility that first essay, whatever you will write, it will be the worst. But the moment you write it, the kind of confidence you will get, forget the marks, forget the feedback, anything, but at least you have done. Suppose someone has not touched like science and tech, because there is a fear of science and tech. You do it in the morning, you do your optional in the morning, you'll get very much good positive vibes. Then second slot, it is also important, but not that challenging, but it has to be important one. So suppose if I'm appearing in mains, So what I would do that, okay, I have not finished some of my topic from my particular optional. So I'll give that time. I'll give that time. In yeah, this session is for 2020 means. I'll give that time for my philosophy. Second slot I will give for the GS. Third slot, it is not that third slot is not important. It is also important, but by the end of the way, by the end of the day, our energy depletes. And with that depleting energy, if you are scheduling your optional, if I'm scheduling my optional in the night, first thing, productivity will be very low. Second thing, I will not be finished a large chunk of topics in the third slot. So three slot strategy when we are making everyday schedule. This is for the preparation point of view. In the third slot, you can fix like, okay, if you are attending some current affairs class, let it be in the third slot. If you are preparing current affairs from somewhere, third slot. Newspaper, third slot. That does not require much energy. I think I have made myself clear to all of you. So these three slots strategy for the average student. The student who can push themselves, there are two more slots, and that leads to 5-slot strategy. So if you are studying, let us say 12 hours, means this 5 slot will apply only for the 12-hour student. So if you are studying for 12 hours in a day, so 3 slots, 9 hours. 9 hours are gone. That is fine. So what you have to do for 2 hours? So here comes the 5-slot strategy. Whomsoever is making it, please don't do it. Otherwise, we'll have to remove you from the meeting. Oh, some kids have joined the meeting, I think. Yeah. So we are talking about 5-slot strategy. Okay. So what is this 5-slot strategy? Slot number 4, slot number 5. Slot number 4 is daily answer writing. Whatever you have read in the whole day, if you are following this 5+2 weekly model and you are studying 2 subjects in a day, so whatever you have read in the whole day, write 2 to 3 questions. Just hold for a second, guys. So this 5 slotting means the last 2 slots. So 2 slots are for number 1, whatever you have read in the whole day, you have to practice answers. So answer writing, I have said it thousands of times. Every day answer writing, there is no comparison of that. And if you have read that topic, suppose in the GS3 you have read about MSP, and if you are writing on that, your concepts, your thinking pattern will be in a positive direction, and I would say in the examination hall you will be able to write better answer. So everyday answer writing has to be there. Ideally 2 questions, not more than that. So 2 questions from the philosophy side I can write, and 2 questions from the GS side I can write. So this is slot number 4. And the slot number 5, and that is very challenging, but I know that if you can do it, If by some effort you can do it, slot number 5, I call it glancing. Okay, glance. So what is glancing? It's not about revising whatever you have read in the whole day. No, it is not. Glancing means whatever you have read in the whole day, just glance that what you have read. Suppose someone is from political science, optional, and there is a topic called Karl Marx. In the Karl Marx, there are hardly 4 or 5 major headlines. So you are just glancing the pages. You are simply glancing the pages that, okay, Karl Marx, there is class struggle, then ideal society. So 4 or 5 major headings. In the MSP, whatever you have read in the whole day, if you can just glance that, okay, by glancing, I simply mean that whatever you have read in the MSP, there are 3, 4, 5 major headings. If you can just glance, so those major headings or subheadings will settle down in your head. They will settle down in your subconscious mind. When we feel this issue that, sir, I was not able to recall the points in the examination hall, that comes because you don't know the major subheadings. But the moment you know MSP, challenges, background, market, and some of the acts, you will feel that yes, I know this topic. And after 5, 6 days, when you are going to revise the same topic, it will become easier for you. Instead of revising your whole content at the end of the month, if you can do it weekly, and if you can do every day, so everyday effort, it is the best. So please do not burden yourself with a lot of things. There are 2 simple ways. Number 1 is 3-slot strategy. You can follow it. Number 2 is 5-slot strategy. If you want to follow, you can follow that. Okay. So yeah, MS, I have seen your hand. If you have any doubt, you can ask after the session. Okay, then the next thing is coordination. Okay, so what I mean by the coordination, and especially what I mean by the coordination from the SOMP students, you have to coordinate your preparation with your mentors. Sometimes I hear that sir, mentor didn't message me, mentor didn't contact me. So you have to coordinate. You have to be coordinative with your mentor. So how to do that? As you are appearing in the mains, fix 2 days in a week. That in these 2 days, you are going to talk to your mentor. So that your mentor can know that okay, on Wednesday and Saturday we'll have to talk on the call. This is the time for the calling. Okay. Then after that, every day, whatever you are preparing, at least make it a habit that every day you are sending a message to your mentor that I have done this much in this particular day. So you have a weekly schedule. Then you every day, whatever you are doing, you can send that to your mentor. That will help you more. Otherwise, you are waiting for your mentor. At times, your mentor is waiting for you. So that should not be the case. You have to be very coordinative. Third thing is execution. Planning is the simplest thing in this world. Execution is very tough. So be ruthless in that. That yes, I have planned that tomorrow morning when I'll wake up, I am going to write essay. And if you have fixed it that you are going to write essay, then you are going to write essay. Suppose there is a topic on climate change and you are planning to write essay tomorrow. When you wake up tomorrow, you are thinking, I lack in content. So let me build more content. So that day will never come when you will be able to execute your plans. So you have to be ruthless. That is why I said, that is why I said that weekly planning is always better than plan for 60 days. So whatever you have planned in this week, you can break it down everyday basis. You are not thinking about next month or the mains. You are only thinking about your this week. The shorter the goal, more energy you can put. That okay, in this week I am going to finish such and such topics. Nothing else, right? So execution has to be there. Then fourth, and I think most of the energy is being consumed by this particular issue, negativity and negative people and negative people, people surrounded by you, or they are near to you. They could be your flatmate or some friend or some family persons, and they are saying बेटा ऐसे तो होता नहीं है, उन्होंने भी तैयारी करी थी. And even you are thinking whether you will be able to clear the exam or not. You are feeling like a failure. You are feeling very stressed. You are looking for psychiatric help. There is no need for that. You just have to shut down two things. One is your negative mindset, and second, your door to such negative people. For next 60 days, try to be surrounded by people who are serious about means. Try, try to be surrounded by the people who are positive. It is not that difficult. Just 2 months, just for 2 months, you have to do it, because this negativity, it depletes your energy. You wake up in the morning and you had a negative thought that what if I'll fail, and someone is going to library and they are saying, oh poor boy, your notes are not prepared, and everyone has prepared their mains notes, then how you are going to write the mains? And that person might have failed in the prelims. There are many Chatur Ramalingam in this world, and especially in UPSC and IIT JEE, I have seen them. They'll come to you only and only to demotivate you. You have to stand tall. You have to see that whether you are doing the right thing or not. Criticism does not mean that anyone can come and criticize you. It has to be logical. You might come to me that, sir, I think I'll clear the mains, but I'm not going to write the answer. Then I'll criticize you. That is logical. But I'm seeing you that you are fighting. Yes, you are not able to write answer as of now, but I can push you to write. There is no point from my side to tell you that you are going to fail. Avoid those people, and especially the very good term Chatur Ramalingam. We do not need such people for next 60 days. Then comes the issue, and this is also a major issue. Ideal schedule. Everyone wants to live in an ideal world. So when you are making your plan, you are thinking that okay, by 7 I'll wake up. Some try to wake up at 5, some try to wake up at 6. Then I'll start my preparation by 7, by 8, or by 9, and you have your full day schedule. And from tomorrow you are going to execute that. Okay, so from tomorrow you are going to execute that, and in the night you are trying to sleep at 11 or 12, so that you can in the night you are trying to sleep at 11 or 12, so that you can wake up by 6, 5, or 7, and you are not able to sleep by 2, by 3, by 4, by 5, and there is a possibility you planned to wake up at 6 and you are sleeping at 6 a.m. In the morning, and again you are frustrated. Again the negativity, that why things are not going according to your plan. And then you are looking for the videos, then you are looking for the solutions. How to wake up at 5, how to wake up at 6. and there is no solution, because these 2 months you are going to suffer the most. So let it be. There is no ideal schedule. There is no ideal routine which you can follow. There might be some, only some, who can say, I used to wake up at 7 every day and this and that. You are going to suffer sleepless nights. You are going to suffer the fear of failure. You are going to suffer OCD. So what is OCD? That you opened YouTube just to check about the blockchains, then you move towards artificial intelligence in the YouTube itself, and after 3 years you don't know how it happened, but you are in front of a speech given by the president or prime minister or anyone, and you don't know how it happened. This is OCD. It is going to happen during the exam time. You are more inclined to do things which are not relevant for the exam. But a sincere student, a sincere person does only one thing. Whatever time they spend for the preparation, first, second, they sleep. And sleep is very important. Don't you dare to sleep only for 2 to 3 hours. Don't you dare to take some pills for waking up for more number of hours. Those Moda and all those pills, your creativity will be zero. Don't do it. So you have to accept that there is no ideal routine. There are some techniques, of course, to sleep, which we'll cover in other sessions or other times. But what I'm trying to convey, if tonight, what I used to do, let me give you my example that I used to try that I should sleep by 12 so that I can wake up at 6, do some jogging, and then start preparing. So instead of 12, I'm waking up at 2, 3, 4, one day is gone. Next day, I'm waking up at 9, 10, 11. The next day is gone. So I made one promise to myself. And it was an inner conflict sort of thing. That if I'm going to bed by 12, within half an hour, and it was fixed, within half an hour, if sleep is not coming, then I'm going back to my study table and chair and I'm studying. So instead of waiting for sleep to come by 3 or 4, I used to study by 3 or 4. Then I realized that yes, this particular thing, that was the right thing which I did. So do not wait for that. Make it a rule that either you are coming, means you are challenging the sleep, either you are coming within half an hour, else you will have to suffer a lot. And that suffering is yours, not mine, because I'm going to study. That is the only thing which you are supposed to do. Then these other issues, okay, you might be wondering that why only during exam time some personal issue, family issue, friends issue came up, and just after the exam all those issues are gone. You might find that someone fell ill in your family, you fell ill, some financial issues, some this issues, they'll keep on coming during the exam time. And even I don't know why it happens, but it happens. Some issues are real, tangible, some are intangible. Some are real and some are creation of the mind. And you might be feeling or thinking that as of now you are handling 20-25 issues, but that is not true. A normal human being at times have 2 to 3 real issues, extraordinary ones 5 to 6, not more than that. So if you are stuck with that thought that a lot of problems are coming in my life and I am surrounded by a lot of issues, I advise all of you to write it down. All your issues, whatever issues you are facing, write it down. It could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 30, it could be 40, 50. Please write down on a paper. After writing down all those things, you have to do a checklist like of thing that okay, so there are two issues one and issue two. Issue one where you can take some action and that issue will be solved, where you can take some action and that issue will be solved. Issue two, whatever action you might take, that issue is not going to be solved. So I call it mental issue. It is only in the mind, not in the reality. And generally it happens with those who are working. After 9 to 5 job, okay, after 9 to 5 job, they are frustrated with their job, they are angry with their senior, they are doing self pity with their life, and they are thinking that those who are preparing full time, they are far better than them, and they have one or two some issues where if they take action, those issues can be handled. So issue number two could be like you are fearing that if you fail in this means, then there is a possibility your family will not give you any further attempt. They'll force you to do the job, they'll force you to get married. This is a mental issue. Cross it in your list. Just simply cross it. So suppose someone think that they have 30 issues. I'm sure by crossing it, hardly you will have, let us say, 8 issues as of now. Only 8. Where you think that if you can take some action, solutions can be found. Out of 8, now, out of 8, only pick 3 issues which are very dear to your heart and which are very important for your life. Only 3, top 3, you choose. And then work on these issues only. Forget rest 5, forget another 22 issues. Only these 3. And if civil services examination is not in this list, then you have to think what you are doing. So behave like a normal human being. Find 3 topmost issues. Even in that, first priority should be civil services examination. Nothing else. Rest too could be some important, like someone is ill in your family, you might be having some financial issues, but only 3, not more than that. Why I am saying it? Reason being, reason lies in the next slide. For whom you are preparing. Someone might say that I am preparing for the country. Someone might say that I am preparing for my parents. Someone even might say I am preparing because I want to marry someone. There is a possibility, no doubt about it. But in the end, you are preparing for none. You are preparing only and only for yourself. You are not preparing for anyone. This is one thing which I have learned during my later attempts. I used to thought that I am preparing for the country. No, I was preparing for myself. Only if I'll clear the exam, only then I can serve my nation. There are many people who prepare for themselves. They are not worried about the country. They are in the services. I'm not, because they prepared for themselves. Now they are working for the nation. You are not preparing for anyone. You are preparing for yourself. So one simple thing you have to learn: you have to be selfish. You have to be selfish. Selfishness has two dimensions. One dimension is being selfish. You are hurting others. I'm not supporter of that selfishness, and I call such thing stupid things. And I don't think that such people deserve anything in this world. So one is hurting others. Second is not hurting, just taking care of yourself. It's only about you, because next 60 days will decide your fate. And if you are not selfish, then next year you might be saying that I was preparing for my parents, I was not able to fulfill their dream. No, you were preparing for yourself and you failed yourself. So do not mix two concepts. So be selfish. Your every minute counts. Your every hour counts. You might be in library and someone might be saying that, okay, you have cleared the prelims and I was not able to clear the prelims. Please help me. So what this person will do, this person will give wrong advices, wrong concepts. And this person will say, definitely I will help. Please contact me after the mains. I hope I have made myself clear here. So being selfish is not a bad thing if you are thinking about yourself and harming none. Then next, cost of failure. Suppose you fail in mains. So what is the cost of that failure? Someone might be thinking that it is monetary or you are getting old. But I would say it is much more than what you imagine. Reason being, next year, next year you cannot promise yourself that you are going to clear the prelims. Next year you cannot be sure that your personal life will be similar to this year. Right now, you might be preparing without job. Your family is supporting you. Everyone is healthy in your family. You are healthy. Next year, you don't know what would be the conditions. And trust me, generally in first, second attempt, we do not face the personal issues. After that, we face professional means preparation issues as well as the personal issues. So cost of failure is much more than that. So do not kill your time. Do not kill your time in anything, negative thoughts, stress. No. The only thing you have to do is spend your time in your preparation. And I commit you, I'm there for all of you. Whatever help you need, let me know. I was away for some time for some personal issues, but now till your mains, I'm there. Whatever help you need, let me know. So don't miss this golden opportunity. Do not don't just enjoy the process. That okay, I'm writing prelims, I'm writing mains, I'm appearing in interview, then failing. Again, prelims means no. You have immense potential. Use that. Clear the exam. Get out from this process. as soon as you get out from this process, it is better for you. So you require no nonsense attitude. Do not compare yourself with others. Your friend might be writing some test in a coaching institute where you are writing. He or she might be in the top 3, and you might be getting only 70-80 marks. But you will not, but there is a possibility that you will not find their name in the final list, and your name could be there. Reason being, we have the time to improve. We have the time to do to to fill the gaps. We can do it. So if you are ready to do it, we are there to help you. If you are not, then no one can help you. So last thing is, don't fail in the process itself. Some people will fail in the month of March, first week or second week, and some have failed in the month of November itself. They have assumed that they have failed. They have stopped preparing. Do not do that. You do not have the right to fail in the process itself. Process is very tough, no doubt about it. But when you started the preparation, and some of you, I know you, that after 1, 2, 3 or 4 attempts, first time you are appearing in the mains, just imagine your condition when you were failing, in the prelims. You were like, just give me one chance to write the mains. I'll give my best. 24/7 I will prepare like anything. And look at yourself where you are now. So do not take things lightly. You have to be a sincere person who has a single goal in their mind, that I am going to write this mains with full preparation. After mains, I will not complain to myself that I wish I could have studied instead of wasting my time on the things which were not linked to the preparation. I hope I have cleared some of the things, and I wish you all the best for the mains. Please don't take the mains preparation lightly at all. So thank you for attending the session. If anyone has any doubts, you can ask.